I've tried a lot of third-party lenses over the 3 years I've been doing this YouTube thing. There are a few bad ones, but for the most part, they all have been a pleasant experience. The bad ones have their own charm and personality, and the good ones, well, the good ones are the ones I'm going to recommend to you guys in this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Iamtongue, and today I want to talk about my top third-party lenses that I'm using at the moment. I haven't used all the third-party lenses for the X mount. Frankly, there's only one of me and there's just too many lenses out there. Too many to try, but not enough time to try them all. I'm tackling this from a portrait shooter perspective. I have zero interest in trying those ultra-wide lenses or anything like that, because I'm not into like landscapes or architecture stuff, so just keep that in mind. I'm just saying that just in case I offend any of you cool kids out there for leaving those ultra wide lenses behind. You know, those freaking cool kids with the ultra wide lenses. Like, we get it, guys. You guys exist too. I know, I'm sorry. I apologize, I don't use ultra wide lenses. Freaking cool kids using ultra wide lenses for landscapes, always adding in a foreground and a background element to your shot, using focus stacking, freaking focus stacking for your shots. What's wrong with just taking one image instead of a bunch? Freaking cool kids with your square hood filters and your gradient ND filters. Okay, we get it, you're freaking cool. Bunch of cool, but I want to give you guys an update of some of the best third-party lenses for the Fujifilm X mount that I've used so far. Seeing that native glass tends to be a bit more expensive than the third-party lenses, there are budget-friendly people out there who may not see native glass as a viable option. So in this video, I will provide you guys with some alternatives that is a bit lighter on your wallet. Let's start off with some honorable mentions. The TT Artisans 27mm f2.8 with autofocusing for the X mount. I'm not a fan of this focal length, but I had fun shooting with this lens. I think besides Voigtlander, this is a second Chinese brand lens company to come out with an autofocusing lens for the X mount. So I see potential to where TT Artisan can take their autofocusing lens in the future. I've used it for portraits and I kind of dig the look. It has some heavy vignetting, but for the price, I'll live with it. It's a small compact lens, perfect for portraits or your walk around lens. Decent image quality, it has autofocus and it works well. And it's only $160, so lots to be excited about coming from TT Artisans. I hope they continue down this route to provide us with other autofocusing alternatives, because I had a blast using that lens and it was just overall a pleasant experience using that lens. Up next, we got the Voigtlander 23mm f1.2. So this lens is a very polarizing lens. This lens has field curvature, and for the pixel peeping, sharpness, image loving cool kids out there, this lens is not it. This lens is a character lens, meaning it's not sharp, it has imperfections, but if you can look past its flaws, I think it's a very fun lens to shoot with. It's a small compact f1.2 lens, and combine this lens with some interesting film recipes by Fuji X Weekly, you can create some interesting, unique looking photos with it. I know I did with the vibrant Arizona film recipe made by Fuji X Weekly. I made a video where I took the X-T5 and the Voidy out for a spin, so if you guys want to check that out, right here somewhere. I had fun with this lens. I was in love with the images that I got, combining this with the Wes Anderson film recipe. This lens also has digital context, meaning that it can read the EXIF data, so you are able to know what aperture you shot at. The price is a bit high in my opinion, but it's a fun lens to use. It's small, light, compact, f1.2 for low light situation. Perfect size for a walk around, everyday carry walk around lens, and combine this with the X-T5, you got a good combo on your hands. Now that we got that out of the way, let's move on to some of my favorite lenses that I've used so far. Let's start off with the Voigtlander 13mm f1.4 for the X mount. Now this lens is a lens that you don't get to see often on this channel, and that's because it's a camera that I strictly use for video. The 13mm focal length makes this a perfect focal length to film my talking head video that you guys are seeing right now. I'm actually filming with this lens right now with the Fujifilm X-H2S right here. And I love this combo. I've taken photos with it before. It takes great images. It's sharp as heck. It has terrific image quality. The autofocusing is great, especially for video. It racks focus very, very smooth. And I've been quite satisfied with this lens. Overall, I can't complain. It's been great for what I wanted to do. This is also another lens that I think if it didn't have any Voigtlander branding on it, you would think this is a Fuji native glass. It's a great performer. And hey, it's an ultra-wide lens. An ultra-wide lens made it onto the list. I hope I appease the freaking cool kids who shoots freaking ultra-wide lenses for their freaking landscape photography. Freaking cool kids. Up next, we got the Laowa 25mm f/0.95 for the Fujifilm X mount. This lens is incredible. It takes some great looking images. The images you get are sharp, and if you are searching for something that is wide and that gives you that 3D pop, this lens does that very well, considering that it is an APS-C lens. 25mm focal length is around a 37.5mm field of view in full frame equivalent, making this a very good lens for street photography or environmental portraits. Laowa is known for making great lenses, and I think when it comes to like Chinese third-party brands out there that produces X-mount lenses, I consider them to be one of the top players in that space. Their lenses are incredible. This lens has great image quality. It has good contrast, wide open. The center sharpness is good at f/0.95. The bokeh is so smooth, so dreamy, so buttery smooth. And at f/0.95, it's good for low light situations. But overall, the build is solid. It's all metal. You have the ability to change the aperture dial to a click or declick, which serves both photographers and filmmakers. And I wish more brands did this because it's like a good feature to have. You're getting a fantastic lens, and it's one of my favorite lenses of 2022. Up next, we got the Sigma 18 to 50mm f/2.8. The Sigma lenses have arrived to the Fujifilm X mount, and I love this lens. It's small, it's compact, it has dust and splash resistant, and it's a constant f/2.8. This is great for the travelers, the street photographers, the wedding photographers, any type of photographers that values a small form factor lens with a constant f/2.8. This lens has decent sharpness, it takes great images, it has that Sigma look where it takes sharp looking images with good contrast, and I've been very surprised with this lens as of late. The AF works very well with the Fujifilm X-H2S and the Fujifilm X-T5, and it's just been a pleasant experience taking this one lens around with me. And like I said before, it's very versatile because I can use a variety of focal length in one lens. Something that I can't do with the other lenses that I mentioned in this video so far. And if you're looking at the other standard zoom lenses out on the market right now, where you got the 16 to 55mm f/2.8, which is around like $1,100 bucks, $1,200 bucks. And then you also got the Tamron 17 to 70mm f/2.8, which is $799. But it's also bigger and bulkier, like a lot bigger and bulkier. So if you're someone that values size, compactness, and stealth, and the price, because get this, this Sigma lens is coming in at $568 if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's such a great value to have. And I forgot to mention that it also doubles as a semi-macro lens, because at 18mm at its widest, you can get some really close focus. You can get in real close at 10 centimeters, 10 freaking centimeters to get some detailed shots. So if you like close focusing distance shots, this lens is the lens to get. Sure, it doesn't have the wide and the telephoto reach like the others. So if you want that, go ahead and get the other lenses, be my guest. I'll sacrifice some of that for a small, light, travel-friendly, constant f/2.8 lens that we got right here in the Sigma 18 to 50mm f/2.8. And that's why it's one of my top third-party lenses for the Fujifilm X mount. And last but not least, we got the Voigtlander 75mm f1.2. This lens is just fantastic. This lens is sharp, wide open. You don't need to stop it down if you don't want to. This lens is also splash and dust resistant as well. Only downside is that it's quite chunky and heavy compared to other X-mount lenses out there. But this lens has a wide aperture at f1.2, making this lens great for low light situations. I can see a lot of wedding photographers using this lens, portrait photographers, and so on. This lens autofocusing is great for the most part, and I love the images I've been getting with this lens. I think this is the best lens Voigtlander has made so far. It is on par with some of Fujifilm's own native glasses out there, so that's saying something. And it only costs $569. The Fujifilm XF 56mm f1.2 WR, the new one with the weather resistant, that one costs around $1,000. So you're getting an f1.2 lens for like $400 cheaper than if you were to buy like something like a 56mm f1.2. Well, there you have it, guys. These are my top third-party lenses for the Fujifilm X mount. Am I missing some lenses on this list? What are some of your favorite third-party lenses that I didn't mention on this list? Do let me know your thoughts, and let me know what other lenses I should try out down in the comments below. And it's a great time to be a Fujifilm shooter. There are many brands now making X mount lenses, so there are a lot of options to choose from. And because of it, these companies will have to fight harder for your dollar. And with competition there's innovation. And with innovation, we as the customers are spoiled with all of these options. If you are interested in any of these lenses mentioned in this video, links to them are down in the description below. And if you found this video helpful or valuable, consider subscribing to my channel where I talk about Fujifilm and photography related things on this channel. I would greatly appreciate your support. And as always, my name is Tongue, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Okay, bye.